So I've got Alex over here.
Yeah.
And tell me who you are, what you do.
So I'm Alex Gould. So I teach economics and entrepreneurship and finance here at Stanford University, and I run the new undergraduate leadership program here. So Stanford's one of the preeminent universities in the United States. So have you heard of the Ivy League before?
Yes.
So the Ivy League, Harvard, Yale, Princeton, Columbia, Dartmouth, those are kind of considered the preeminent academic universities, definitely in the U.S. and kind of in the world. And Stanford's always sort of been considered a virtual version of that since it's on the West Coast. But what's unique about Stanford is it's only about 112 or 13 years old. So it's relatively recent, but it's in a very dynamic area, the Silicon Valley. The weather is insanely beautiful. There's tons of innovation here. And what's unique about Stanford is they have all the academic resources that those Ivy Leagues have, but they also have great athletic teams. They're like a super university. And on top of just kind of great liberal arts like, English and history and philosophy and math and science and all of those things, they also have a phenomenal engineering school. So that means that they're one of the top programs in computer science and electrical engineering and all that. So undergraduates can study anything from liberal arts to engineering. And then there's also a bunch of great graduate schools here, law, medicine, business, education, PhD programs, and all of those liberal arts. So it's like there's almost nothing that they're weak at, and they have the location, and they have the weather. So I think Harvard's running scared right now. So it's a wonderful kind of platform and place to be, but it's expensive as all hell.
And exactly what sort of money are we talking about?
For an undergraduate, when you take tuition into account and room and board and fees and just all the rest of it, it's the low 50,000 US dollars a year. So over 4 years, you're looking at probably 200 grand, which means a lot of student loans, right? Unless your family's going to write the check, right? So there's loans, there is financial aid, there's need-based grants and loans, and it depends on the need of your family and what you can demonstrate. And I would say taking it into account from the Finnish perspective, I mean, Stanford's got a large international student body. There's a big debate going on right now over kind of what it means to be foreign versus international. So, for example, they're trying to kind of move aid more toward when we say foreign, meaning, say, people who are kind of underprivileged and more kind of fresh off the boat as opposed to, say, a diplomat's, kids who happen to live in Finland and maybe have means. There's a lot of that, too, here, but they're the more needy you are and the more different that you are and the more interesting and unique your story is, the better the chance that they're going to be amenable, right? Because they are looking for diversity. The sad thing is in the United States, the parents are getting savvier and savvier at buying all of the things that they think the admissions committee is looking for. Like, Johnny plays the violin and the piano and the cello. Johnny's on the varsity tennis team. Johnny has a 4.0 GPA. Like, they're checking all the boxes off. And it's harder and harder to look unique.
And I know that much from UK that all to get in is you really need a good personal statement. So how difficult is Stanford comparing to the
Ivies? You mean?
Yeah,
it's the same. It's hard. I mean, the personal statement is critical, but recommendations are becoming more and more important. The ability for someone in the admissions office to have a connection to someone. I mean, that's the most powerful thing is if you know somebody and they have a connection to the admissions office and they build credibility over time. Like when I went to high school in Philadelphia, my college admissions counselor had relationships with a lot of colleges. And so his words actually meant something because he wasn't some unknown quantity. So for me, that helped, right? It was the same thing for grad school. I had professors in undergraduate who were research colleagues of people here. And if I hadn't had that, I wouldn't have gotten in. So it was all about kind of who you know as much as what you know and how good you are, right? And so that was it's a game, right?